Welcome everyone. We are excited to talk to you this year about our 2021-2022 Faith Formation year, so let's get started. First of all, we want to talk about what our focus or our goals are for this year. We definitely want to make sure that we help equip our families and our youth to practice their faith and participate fully in the parish. We want to come together. We want to create some fellowship amongst each other so that we can learn together about the life of Jesus Christ, his teachings, and the Catholic faith. We want to help rebuild that domestic church, and we want to help build community. So a little bit about our format, and it is going to be just a little, it's going to be different this year. So we'll start with our high school. So historically, we have done a 2-year prep for confirmation. The diocese has asked that any parish that has a mission parish also, so for example us in Kimball, they've asked that we be on the same cycle and that we do the actual confirmation together. So Kimball's confirmation will be celebrated at the same time as Sydney here in Sydney at St. Patrick's. With that, we found out that Kimball was off cycle from us, so we have to get on the same cycle. So how we're going to do that is this year we're going to do our 9th and 10th graders together in a class. They're not going to be doing confirmation prep. We're going to be doing a program called Equip for Life through EQ Access. And then our 11th graders only will be doing confirmation, and it will be a 1-year confirmation prep with confirmation being held on April 23rd at 10 a.m. And then our K through 8, we're going to be doing our K through 8th grade students and their families together. It is going to be a family-based program, and we're going to be using Sophia's Institute, a Family of Faith. All right, so a little bit more about what we're doing for our K through 8th graders. Why are we using Family of Faith? One thing we really wanted to work on was engaging our families in the parish. And I know at least for myself, when I had a young child, we want to help equip our families with a way to practice your faith at home as well as within the parish. I know when I first started teaching back when my son was in preschool, it had been a long time since I had done a lot of this, and we want to help teach our families together, so our parents and our children together. We want to learn to follow Jesus as the home becomes a place of learning in addition to the church. We want to help rebuild that domestic church, and then we also want to help families build relationships together. And one quote we saw this year was, "Faith is caught, not taught." And while yes, there is a lot of teaching that happens, a lot of our faith is caught by watching, and children really learn from their parents. And so we want to make sure that we're living the faith together as a family, and that's what hopefully this new program will help us do. So the structure is at least one parent or guardian will need to attend with the children. We are not going to break up those children by grade, so we're not going to have first grade, second grade, third grade. Instead we're going to make small groups of families together, and those groups will be at least 2 family members, and we are going to try to create the groups to have children of similar ages, so that you're learning together with families that have children similar ages as your children. The catechists will be faith leaders, is what we're going to be calling them, and they're going to be leading using the parent guide to lead those small groups and activities. So every family will get a copy of the parent guide, as well as if there's any faith leaders, they will get a copy of that parent guide. And if families were to miss a class, the parents will also have that guide already at home if they would like to complete that week's lessons. We do also have it set up so that you can meet additional times here to catch up with your group. And then if we don't have any faith leaders for those small groups, then we are going to ask the parents within that small group to step up and lead the activities. The activities are all very easy to lead with minimal prep, but you will have that book ahead of time if for some reason you were wanting to look at that ahead of time. It is always there. We are going to do Theology of the Body, This Body Matters, for our middle school students, and that is a teen program that we have historically done here, and we definitely will be doing that still. And then we are going to do our second grade sacramental prep on Thursday, so that will be an additional class for anyone who has a second grader. So those meetings for our K through 8th families, those small groups are going to meet on the first and second Wednesdays of each month. We'll generally start in the parish hall, the dining hall, together, and then we will learn a little bit about what we're talking about that month, and then we'll break and have the small groups then go into a classroom and do the lessons for that month. And so that will be on the first and second Wednesdays. The third Wednesday of the month is a community building event, and what it does is we take and reinforce everything we've learned that month, and then we have some kind of fun community building activity. So that will be together as a large group. And so again, we'll reinforce whatever we learned that month, and then we'll do some kind of fun activity together. Examples would be maybe like a scavenger hunt or something along that lines. And then that fourth Wednesday of the month, the middle school will meet for theology of the body, and we'll use small groups for that, hopefully, depending on sizes. And then if we have any family groups that maybe missed a week, or if they would like to meet to finish any of the activities for the month, the small classrooms will be available for that. There are multiple activities for every single lesson, and you don't have to do them all. You can pick and choose which ones you want to do as a small group. That'll be something that your group will decide. And so if you want to come back and do any additional activities, or if maybe you missed a month or missed a week, that fourth Wednesday is available for that. So Family of Faith through Sophia's Institute is a 4-year cycle, and every single year covers one pillar of the catechism. The first year we're going to study the creed or the profession of faith. Second year will be sacraments. Third year will be life in Christ, and the fourth year will be Christian prayer. So after 4 years, we'll then start back over again, obviously, but the really nice thing is after that 4 years, you will have covered every pillar of the catechism. Every single month, you will learn about a saint of the month. There is a verse of the month that we will learn. There is a prayer, and obviously with the first year being the creed, that's going to be our prayer that we're going to be focusing on. Car Conversations is a really cool thing that is available, and that will be in each parent book, a page that you can actually just pull out, cut out, and it has generally 1 to 2 questions that you can talk about in your car. And I don't know about your car, but I know that our car is a great place for conversation. And so you have a captive audience, and it has just some real quick, easy topics that you can talk about in the car. And then it does also have additional catechism articles to read. If you would like to supplement at home, or as a parent, if you would like to see where that information, where it refers to it in the catechism, that is always there. Now with that, we know that not every family has a copy of the catechism, and so that is something that when you enroll, there is a question on that enrollment form if you have a copy of the catechism. If you don't, we will definitely order that for you. In addition, we want to make sure that everybody has a Bible, because we are learning a verse of the month. And so if you don't have a Bible and you need one, that is also something that you can indicate on the registration form, and we will make sure we order a Bible for you as well. So just an overview of what we're going to learn this year for the Creed. In September, we're going to be doing safe environment training. That's something we always do. And then September's focus is on the role of the parents in their child's education. Then October, we will talk about what is faith and who is God. November, we'll talk about created in God's image. December is Annunciation and Immaculate Conception. January is who is Jesus. February is the Paschal Mystery. March is the Holy Spirit. And April is the marks of the Church and the communion of saints. Now, COVID precautions. You may want to know what we are doing for COVID precautions. We are going to follow either what the Sydney Public Schools does, unless otherwise mandated by our parish. So whatever Sydney Public Schools is doing, that's what we're going to do, unless Father CP has some kind of additional precautions we're taking here at the church. As always, if you or your children don't feel well, don't come. And then we are going to make sure that we ensure sanitization after each meeting, and we will go through and clean those classrooms every single week. So just some important dates to make sure that you are aware of. Our second grade first reconciliation will be on April 21st at 5:30 p.m. Then they will celebrate First Communion that following Sunday on April 24th. And then our 11th graders will have confirmation on April 23rd at 10 a.m. Now that first reconciliation, first communion, I know is a little bit different in timing than what we have done in the past, and that's something Father CP had recommended. We had found, we'd celebrate the first reconciliation several months in the past before our first communion. A lot of times our students maybe forgot, or it had been a while, and so we want to make sure that they're going into that first communion completely ready. And so we will go through and do all the preparation first for both first reconciliation, first communion, and then we'll celebrate those right then that same week. So that's how we'll be doing that. So finally, if you have any questions, please contact Joan Falcon or Amy Kohlrich at the church. If you would like to see a copy of the Family of Faith, we do have some copies here. Otherwise, we do encourage you to get enrolled as soon as possible, because we do need to make sure that we get everything ordered in time. And if you have any questions, again, please contact Joan Falcon or Amy Kohlrich, and we appreciate your time. Thank you.